I mentioned earlier that I noted a higher percentage of female activity at Obama's calling pages. And the more I thought about it, I realized that this was a little bit of a shock to me, not just because Clinton's a female and she's supposed to capture more of the female vote and she's motivating women more, but because Obama's internet army, if you will, seems to be a majority male. Obama doesn't win the YouTube battle, for instance, just because he's got more videos posted there. He's winning the battle there because there are guys out there, whether appointed by the campaign or self-appointed, who are voting up pro-Obama videos and voting down pro-Clinton videos. He's got guys that are out there searching through YouTube, finding pro-Clinton videos, and posting responses and trying to knock those things down in popularity. Thus, when you or I go in, we enter a search for, election videos from yesterday or whatever it is, the odds are we're going to find 10 out of the first 12 are pro-Obama. Even if there's plenty of relevant pro-Clinton stuff, it just doesn't show up there. Likewise, in the blogosphere, Obama supporters, who generally tend to be a little more aggressive from what I've seen, and certainly outnumber Clinton supporters, also seem to me, at least, to be a majority male. So it came to be a little bit of a surprise that I saw all the female activity. Again, maybe it's just because certain people have certain times that they're available or certain ways that they want to participate, and I think that gets to the success of Obama's strategy. He somehow found the sweet spot between controlling his internet message, his internet presence, and the chaos that would result from complete freedom of everybody doing whatever they wanted. Clinton, just like Obama, enables people to meet on her website, to get together offline, to do certain things, but there's something maybe almost intangible about the element of control in her website that keeps people kind of where she wants them just a little bit more than Obama. Obama helps you, for instance, when we looked earlier at a couple tabs on their websites, in the same place that Obama helps you to register to vote, Clinton helps you sign up to volunteer to travel to one of the next states that she's going to be competing in. So while Clinton's campaign is directing your activity, Obama's encouraging you to get involved and kind of do it the way that you want to. He's allowing housewives and forgive me if I'm harping on the housewife thing, but he's allowing people to become engaged and to participate in a way that they want, whether it's people making calls from their houses who happen to be 65 or 70% female, or whether it's young college guys who spend 3 hours a day online knocking down YouTube videos. Either way, Obama's supporters are more encouraged and more enabled, if you will, to decide how they're going to participate. Not that Clinton isn't going to accept participation and help from her supporters in any way she can get it, but there's just enough give and take, just enough freedom in Obama's web presence and his web strategy to encourage participation in a way that people feel empowered. It's meaningful to them. They get a little bit of ownership. And obviously stakeholders tend to care more. All of this, of course, is happening with very little cost to Obama. So now that I brought up cost, we may as well get to that. Obama's winning the internet presence war, if you will. He has more MySpace friends, and he has more YouTube videos, and he has more clicks here and all that stuff. But what about money? Through the end of March, through 3/31 this year, first quarter of this year, Obama had raised $234 million total, full campaign, 07 and 08. Clinton, $189 million. So he's got a $45 million give or take, lead there. In '07, she had actually outraised him by a little bit. So starting the year, she was ahead on the money game because she was able to tap into a large, broad base of high money donors. And that's who she concentrated on in '07. And that's what gave her a slight lead coming into to '08. However, Obama's numbers for the first 3 months of '08, 32 million, 45 million, 41 million respectively. That's $118 million he raised in the first quarter this year. It's more than twice what she did at 56.6 million for the same period. It's a big deal. As far as how much of that's coming from the internet, both of them now are up in the, from what I can tell, both are now up in the 85 to 90% range as far as the percentage of their total fundraising that's coming in from the internet. I actually had trouble finding a number, a percentage or a dollar figure for Obama. He raised $41 million in March, and I can't find anywhere exactly how much of that came from the internet. If any of you guys happen to know that figure, I'd be interested in that. In doing my numbers here, I simply used an average of his January and February. He had 88% from the internet in one of those months and 82% in the other month. So for March, I gave him an 85%. The result was he's raised about $108 million online in the first quarter of this year. Clinton, again, less than half of that, $52 million. Obama's been doing it steady since, early '07. The reason he was up there with her at the end of '07 is because he was making good money. In I think the second quarter last year, he led her in fundraising. She won the third and fourth quarters because she started to get on the ball when they saw that he had won the second quarter fundraising battle. But anyway, he's been doing this steadily throughout. Clinton, on the other hand, didn't really concentrate on internet fundraising until after Super Tuesday. She had a lackluster performance on February 5th compared to what she was hoping for, and she was getting to a stage where her bigger money donors were starting to dry up. People who had given the max, and many of them gave the max for the primary and for the general election right up front. They wrote a $4,600 check, so they're done for the rest of the year, outside of being able to go out and try and get other people to donate money. That well was drying up for her. But after February 5th, she did two things. She said, we need money. Let's go to the website. Let's direct people to the website. Let's use the website to reach out to people. She put in $5 million of her own money, and she made a huge plea online to get her base to donate money. Guess what happened? It worked. Ever since then, in the second half of February, she did like $30 million. So this is, a pretty good deal for her once she starts paying attention to it. I expect that we'll see the same thing happen in April. The April numbers aren't out yet, but with a victory in Pennsylvania on the 22nd of April, we already know that she was able to raise $10 million immediately following that. In like a 24-hour period, she got $10 million after that victory. I expect the same thing is going to show for the whole month trend. She's going to have done pretty well. I'll be surprised if she raises more than Obama, but I expect her to have a pretty good month overall. Question is it too little, too late? Bottom line, at the end of the first quarter, the net of debts Obama's had a little over 50 million net in the bank, and Clinton at the same period had just over 16 million net in the bank. There's a big difference there, and she needs to raise a lot more money in April than I think she's going to in order to make up that difference.